Welcome back to the Dallas Meetup Dime, where we get straight to the value in 10 minutes or less. I'm your host, Carson Gibbons, and today I'm joined by one of the most innovative and hospitable community managers I've ever met. He's the brains behind the Scaling Community Guide program at MarketScale in downtown Dallas, and the reason we're sitting here today. Please help me welcome Hunter Lopatin.
Carson, thanks for having me. Number one, as you've been getting started on this and having people come up to the studios, it's been amazing to see, and it's an honor to be a part of it too.
It's funny that you're welcoming me, or I'm welcoming you to the show when really it's a cart and horse situation, because this is your digs.
Yeah.
Where are we right now?
We're right in downtown Dallas in the Bank of America Plaza building. So if you've ever seen a Dallas Cowboys game and before the game, they show the skyline of Dallas, you see the big green building. We're right at the top of that. So as you can see behind us, we have Uptown Dallas right there.
Little bit better filming day than it was our first go round, but it's just, you can see Fort Worth and all the stadiums and all the way to Addison. This is just a crazy view on the 53rd floor.
It's unbelievable. It's so funny. So I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. And when I moved down here and I came up here, I'm starting to look around and I'm like, wow, it really is that flat here in Dallas. And so you can see everything, which is really cool though.
So tell us about MarketScale.
Yeah.
You've recently partnered with us to back our media efforts in a lot of ways. And I think that a lot of folks have an assumption about what MarketScale does with all of these amazing sets and the infrastructure up here on the 53rd floor. But what does it actually do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So people see us all the time. Whether you're on LinkedIn, most likely you're seeing MarketScale every single day. And most of the time people think, oh, we're just studios, or maybe we're an editing service or something like that. What MarketScale truly is really helping B2B marketers realize that they're not a team of one, that they're a team of 500, 5,000, 10,000. And the reason that is because they have these amazing fans and community members, right? Both me and you are working 8, 9, 10-hour days every single day. We become experts in what we do. And every single person in B2B has that same experience, right? They're working every single day. They're experts in what they're doing every single day. And so what we've realized is that you got to have them doing the marketing for you. You have engineers, you have product developers, you have sales teams, you have your partners and clients that use your products every day. They're experts in your business in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people want to hear from. So what MarketScale is at a core is we help B2B marketers really tap into the resources they already have to create marketing, free marketing, right? When you get other people to do it for you, and it's a part of your already existing community,
mm-hmm.
it's free marketing.
So brass tacks, we're talking about user-generated content here.
Oh, yeah.
What does MarketScale tactically do with the UGC that my product engineers or developers or my community has created on my behalf or documenting me?
Yeah. I mean, UGC is so important right now in B2B. Like I said, you go on LinkedIn, you see it everywhere.
You see it on TV. TV ads are being filmed on iPhones specifically to make a statement now.
Yeah. It's funny. We have a billboard right down here at the bottom of this building. It's an iPhone ad. And
mm-hmm.
it says shot on iPhone.
Yes.
I mean, one of the most famous commercials that we've seen for the past couple of years from Apple has been about UGC. But what MarketScale does is we realize that anybody can create UGC. And so we help them really tap into their own personal brand. Help them create their own brand, even though they're at a company, because what that's doing is now them building their personal brand is building the company that they're working for. So we help them, number one, source all that content. We bring it in, we get it edited, and we help you distribute and, take it out all around the world, because content is only something when you're able to get it to the masses and to the right people.
My first startup that I was affiliated with, our CEO was a really talented back-end developer that built this content management platform. And he used to always say, every company is a content company. And that's the new basic table stakes of getting to know you, getting to understand your personality. Like, I need to have a blog, a YouTube channel, a TikTok to engage with and understand more about this brand, because that's our courtship. Before we go on our first date, which might be the first conversion. And that always stuck with me, that's your responsibility as a company, especially in B2B, where you're needing to illustrate, case studies and 360 loops of success with clients. It's all about the content.
People buy from people.
Mm-hmm.
People will always buy from people. They're not just buying products. And what are you doing right now to show your people off?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was looking at a stat the other day that said 60% of buyers in B2B right now are going to content before they even talk to a sales rep.
Mm-hmm.
And 77% of buyers would rather not even talk to a sales rep and would like to go through content. So if your team, your people are not out there creating content, you're losing the market because they're going to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. A big metric that I always look at with Dallas Meetup and other brands is just attention, like hours spent with the brand. Because if you spend 20 or 30 hours a year with a brand, that might be some brand affinity there. That's equivalent to going to a Cowboys game, watching a couple games on the TV.
Yeah.
That's the same level of brand affinity. And so the more time you can be spending with these communities, I'm a big fan of several podcasts that if they air a pre-roll ad on a particular thing that maybe I was already thinking about, I'm just that much more likely because that personal connection.
Exactly right. So I actually had a talk with, I did a speech here in the office in the studios on the other side with 80 ex-NFL players. And the number one thing I said is that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have figured this out. They've realized that you need to have a show. You go on Netflix, Jerry Jones has 3 shows on Netflix right now, like the Cowboys cheerleader show. You got America's Team. He's got a couple other too.
The Gambler and his Cowboys.
Yep.
That you just hit a nerve with me because that's one of the most inspirational documentaries about creating long-term brand value. And the way that, I'm not sure if you've watched the whole thing yet, but the way that he talks about before Jerry Jones in the NFL, it was on Sunday. And he's like, how do I keep this as a soap opera 365 days a year? And that's actually something that I feel like we've harnessed with Dallas Meetup, where we have 4 days a year that we get together, 4 quarterly mixers. How do we keep that virality and the community engaging digitally this whole time? And MarketScale is going to certainly propel that for us.
That's exactly right. That's where the content comes into play, is that's what people are seeing. I like to bring this point up is your buyers might not be able to buy your product right now. Your buyers might not be able to buy your product right now because they're in different parts of the world. But guess what the Cowboys and the NFL realized is, hey, we're going to have a game that starts the season in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Hey, we're going to have a game in England. And now what they're doing is they're able to bring that to the people, and they're creating fans. And guess what? Every single Thursday, every single Sunday, every single Monday, their show is on. And guess what? The people who saw it in England are now seeing it through the content. The people who saw it in Brazil are now seeing it through the content. So it's so important, number one, to have a show and realize that your content is like your games, right? You have your pre-show, you have your after the show, and you have your interviews, and you have the game. What is the content you're creating for your business that's before your show? What is the content you're creating for your business that's after the show? What is the locker room interview where you have a speed stick in your left hand and a microphone in your right hand? What are you doing for your business that way?
Mm-hmm. The last point I'll make about the whole Cowboys piece of this is, I don't know if you watched the valuations skyrocket through the years, but like from 89 to 2005, it's like, they were still at $1 billion or $2 billion, like in the 2000s. And then all of a sudden it goes to like 13 or 15 billion. I think because of the ability to harness the community directly with social media and subscriptions and just all these different touch points that consumers have now.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people, we're here in Dallas, a lot of people you'll hear don't like the Cowboys and they're not a huge fan of Jerry Jones. And what I've realized since moving down here, obviously I'm a Detroit Lions fan being from Detroit, but I like the Cowboys as my second team. And the reason why is because Jerry Jones has realized that this is a business.
Uh-huh.
And what he's realized is that the content and the fans and getting the fans to create the content and the marketing is the most important piece of what he's doing. And he's built truly America's team behind it, because you have people in San Francisco, you have people in New York, you have people in Detroit who are Cowboys fans.
Most valuable sports franchise of all time across all sport.
Yep.
Even Premier League and everything, F1.
Yeah.
So definitely a testament. Sometimes you have to be the contrarian to walk in that direction.
You do. I always look back at that piece where he brings Phil Knight on the field, and it's the biggest issue in sports at the time. But now we look back and we say, the NFL was making you stay with one provider the entire time?
The rest of the NFL ownership owes him a debt of gratitude for their, skyrocketing valuations and bottom lines, because he certainly was the scapegoat for that initially.
But no matter what, I mean, we're talking Dallas Cowboys, but in business, in B2B, you can learn a lot from it. Is the fact that forever we thought, centralized marketing is what works for B2B because we got to be on brand, we got to be polished, we got to make sure it looks good. But that's not what works. We've seen in other industries like, NFL, like in B2C with brands like Yeti, Stanley, and Sephora, we've realized that your people and the people out there are your best marketers. And you got to break down that wall, right? We think there's this weird wall where we have regulations and we can't talk and we can't create content. That's all wrong because we've seen what happens when you do create the content. And we've seen what happens when you break out of that bubble and you're having your engineers on camera talking about your new products and why they built it the way they did. And you're having your partners and clients talk about why they work with you and why they like working with you, right? It's so important to realize that content is king. We hear that every single day.
We're experiencing it.
Yeah, that's true.
The Dallas Meetup Dime is powered by MarketScale. What's your ask for our community before we go?
I think the biggest thing I would ask is when you're at these events, when you're at the Dallas Meetup, when you are going out and you're doing different things and experiencing community, that you create content around it and have fun with it. There's this theory right now, I don't know if you've heard it yet, but the dead internet theory, which pretty much says that because of AI, every piece of content out there is going to be AI. So AI is going to index off of AI and we're not going to have any real content. So what I ask is that you go out there and create your own personal content, become a thought leader because then AI will have something to index.
Be the real alive internet.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Hunter Lopatin, thank you so much for coming in. That was the Dallas Meetup Dime powered by MarketScale. We will see you next time.